Hey there. Welcome to today's routine. Thanks for joining us here for some 5-pillar mobility. As per usual, let's start by getting nice and comfy, lying back on your mat. Take some time to just slow things down. Imagine breathing in nice, chill, relaxing, healing vibes. And imagine breathing out any stress, anxiety, negativity, anything that's been weighing you down. Imagine just breathing out and letting it go. Let's take some attention to your breath. Generally, when we slow that breath down, it helps to slow our mind down. And that helps us prepare our tissues to relieve tension and allow us for better movement. So slowly let that breath take a nice relaxing pace. Focus on directing that air deep into the diaphragm and slowly letting it go. Just scan through your body, anything that feels tense. Just imagine letting go of that tension. As you breathe out air, imagine breathing out tension with it. Feel your body just sink heavy into your mat and mentally go to your happy place. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll start today's routine on your left hip adductor. So we find this easiest to access just using the fingertips or the thumbs or your fist. Doing some manual work with your hands along the inner thigh. And start by working through that area, looking for what's tense. And as you're working your way through the tissue, be conscious to not get into any pain, any numbness or tingling. Just find that nice relaxing level of pressure. Feel out what areas need attention. You can experiment with the direction you're addressing those tissues. Are you moving along the length of your thigh or across your thigh? You're just adding static pressure. These are all options that work. And the only way to really know which option is going to work best today is by trying some stuff out. The best method for you will be specific to you. So as you're working through that tissue, really pay attention to how your body's responding. Mentally doing your best to stay nice and relaxed. Let's take one more breath on this side. As we sigh it out, we'll switch to the right side. Start by working your way through that right side hip adductor. Feel out what needs attention on this side. It may be the same as the left, might be slightly different, or might be completely different. And you won't know until you try some stuff out. So keep experimenting. Experiment with the angle of pressure you're applying, how much pressure you're applying. Again, you can use the fingertips or the thumbs or your fist. Just feel out what works for today. Settle into that stimulus. Once you've found your version of this exercise, settle back to your breath. Concentrate on relaxing your mind and using your mind to relax your body. Challenge yourself to get a little bit more passive with each passing breath. Nice relaxed headspace. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath and we'll shift into the left side quad. So let's grab that lacrosse ball, go face down, placing that lacrosse ball under your right quad, and start by searching. You may find tension in the upper quad, the lower quad, the lateral or the medial. This is a big muscle group. Now, the lacrosse ball doesn't carry much area, so really be specific in how you're searching. Try not to settle into your happy comfort zone. Really try to find out what needs attention today and let that be your focus. And once you're there, circle back to your breath. As you let go of air, imagine letting go of that tension in that quad. And with each passing breath, challenging yourself to get more passive through that target tissue and through any tissue we don't need to hold this position. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath, and we'll transition to the right side quad. We'll start with a search through this right side. Look for what needs attention on this side. It may be tense in the same area as the left, might be completely different. Just feel out what this side needs. Experiment with how you're addressing those needs, the angle we're leaning, the amount of pressure we're applying, whether we're rolling on that ball or hanging out statically. We can also add some motion through the knee by pulling that heel up. These are all options at your disposal. They're all effective, and the only way to figure out which versions of this exercise are going to work for you is with some experimenting. So once you've settled into the version of this quad release, let that be your focus, and then settle back on your breath. And with each passing breath, try to get softer through that target area, more relaxed through your mind, and more relaxed through your whole body. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath, and we'll transition into some left side knee traction. Well, the goal when we do some traction work is by just creating a little bit of joint space. Sometimes those surfaces can get wedged together and not glide very well. So the goal with the knee traction is to create a little bit of breathing room in the joint. So start by firmly grabbing your left shin with both hands. Gently press that shin away from your body and gently turn it inwards to create a little bit of internal rotation. So that pulling force and twisting force should help that knee free itself up. This should be completely pain-free. You shouldn't feel much here at all. Especially if this is new exercise, go nice and easy. Take one more breath here. And we'll switch to the right side. Start by firmly grabbing that right shin with your hands, giving a gentle pull of that shin away from your body, and gently turning it inwards towards your midline. And again, if this is a new exercise, go nice and easy. You should not feel much here at all. Just a really subtle pressure release inside the joint. As you work your way through the minute, you can be a tiny bit more aggressive, but always paying attention to how your body's responding. Your body will always give you clues. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath, and we'll move into a left side Fragan. Let's start by stepping that left leg forward in an extended lunge and kickstanding your right leg towards your midline to target some of that groin tissue. So this is a combination movement. You're going to get some hip flexor stretch, a little bit of groin stretch. Try wiggling yourself into a position till you feel like you're stretching what tissues need attention today. As an option, you can drop your chest towards the floor, drop to your elbows. You can experiment leaning more towards your front of your body, more towards the middle. Feel out what your body needs. And in 10 seconds, we'll gently get active by imagine shrinking the space between your knee and your lead heel. And let's go ahead, starting with nice easy force, activating through the groin, trying to shrink the space between your legs, ramping up that tension as we go. Let's finish with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse, activating through those outer thighs, your glutes, trying to pull your legs further apart, ramping up that tension as we go. Let's finish with a big squeeze here. Last 5, 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Run through a mental checklist of anything around those hips that feels like it's holding you back. Just mentally hit that off switch. Let yourself fall into the end of your pain-free range of motion. Then we'll take one more breath here, and we'll start to transition to the opposite side. Step that right leg forward into a lunge. Kickstand that left leg towards your midline. Take a second or two to fall into the version of this stretch that's going to work for you today. As always, use the video as a guide and use your body's feedback as a means to fine-tune what this exercise is going to look like for you. And once we're there, settle back to your breath. Concentrate on getting passive mentally and physically. There are some muscles we need to hold this position. Try to relax through that groin. Attempting to get it passive through that tissue to fall deeper into this stretch. And in 10 seconds, we'll gently get active by attempting to shrink the space between that knee and your lead heel. And let's go ahead, starting with nice easy tension. Squeezing through your inner thighs, attempting to close the space between your legs, ramping up that tension as we go. Let's finish with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse, attempting to spread those legs further apart, ramping up that tension as we go. Big squeeze here to finish. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax, nice and passive. Try to pay attention to which muscles are holding you back from getting deeper. If we're finding depth in the stretch, it's by relaxing, not by forcing. Mentally go into your happy place, maintaining that nice relaxing rhythm of your breath. We'll take one more breath here. We'll sigh out that breath, and we'll transition into a squat stretch. Let's come to your feet. Move your feet to about shoulder width, or wherever you're comfortable squatting from. And allow your hips to sink into the end of your pain-free range. And if sitting your hips all the way down is painful at all, let's prop those hips up on something, a chair or a pillow. Allow yourself to sit in whatever range is pain-free for you. And once we're there, concentrating on getting passive through the hips, through the knees, through the ankle, and through any tissue that's on right now that we don't need. Relaxing through your face, your head, your neck, your traps. Just let it all go. And in 10 seconds, we'll gently get active through the hips. So we want to activate through the glutes and attempt to push your knees away from your core. And let's go ahead, starting nice and easy. Activating through those butt muscles, ramping up tension as we go. Let's finish with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse that. Attempting to pull your knees closer to your armpits, ramping up that tension as we go. Let's finish with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Let's let go of that breath. Let's settle back into your passive squat. And passive doesn't mean that everything's asleep. We do need some muscles to hold this position, but really try to relax through those hips. Let your hips sink into whatever position feels right today. And in 10 seconds, we'll gently get active through the knee. And as we get active through the knee, attempting to press your heels away from your hips. And let's go ahead, starting nice and easy, activating through the quads, slowly ramping up that tension. Flex through those thigh muscles, give a good squeeze here, last 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse, activate through the hamstring, trying to pull your heel and hips closer together, ramping up that tension as we go. Let's finish with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax, nice and passive. Mentally turning off any tissues that are tight or holding you back or restrictive. Just let it all go. Focus back on your breath. Direct that air deep into that diaphragm. Staying as passive as you can. Mentally staying in your happy place. Let's take one more long, slow, deep, relaxing breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. Let's find yourself in a tabletop position and work through some left hip circles. So we're just going to work the hips casually through its range of motion with circles. Start by bringing that knee in towards your chest. Start by slowly adducting that knee out to the side laterally. And then carve that knee around the outer limits of your range until that leg is behind you. Press that heel up to the sky, and then start again. As you work your way through this minute, attempt to be a little bit more aggressive. Really challenge yourself in the positions you feel like you struggle with. It can be useful to give yourself a second wind push in areas that feel like they're stuck. When you feel like you've hit a limit, just give a subtle push further into that position, attempting to carve out new range. Let's give a good squeeze here to finish off this last rep, and we'll switch to the right side. So again, starting from basic tabletop, pull that knee into your chest, slowly adduct it out to the side, nice and slow and deliberate. Pull that knee around till it's behind you, press it up behind you, heel to sky, and finish by pulling that knee into your chest for your next rep. And again, at your own pace, at your own level of intensity. If you've been working at this for a while, feel free to be a little more aggressive. We do want to be progressive as you work your way through this program. Generally, the harder we work here, the better results we get. And just being conscious of not getting into your pain range of motion. Work within what's pain-free, but give yourself a challenge. Let's give a good squeeze here to finish up. Pushing through those corners. And we'll let you finish off this last rep. We'll take one more good, slow, deep, relaxing breath here. We'll sigh with that breath, and we'll call it a day. Thanks so much for joining us here with some 5-pillar mobility. Hope your body's feeling great. Hope you enjoyed the routine. If you enjoyed it, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.